That is one panicle. And they get bigger than that. Mixed free range, cage-free hydrangeas. And here's a vanilla, just to show the size difference. Just completely different animal, just a monster. Look at that. Well, it's a beautiful morning. Today I'm going to plant a tree, and not just a tree. This is the holy grail of trees for me. I've been looking for a purple beech, or actually a copper beech, for maybe 10 years, 15 years. I saw this at the Arboretum. It was probably an 80-foot or an 80-year-old tree, but this is going to be just the pinnacle of my yard, I think. This has got the dark purple leaves. In the sun you can kind of see that copper look, and in the fall they'll really bring out that copper sheen. But these leaves are the most interesting leaves I think I've ever seen. This has got just a dark purple with a light gray striation down that center, and each the veins are just amazing. I just love those serrated beech leaves, and then that light gray trunk, how it pops against that dark foliage is just awesome. So the tree at the Arboretum was so large that you really saw those wrinkles on the trunk, and as that ages you're going to see wrinkles on a smooth trunk that go up, and it looks like an elephant's trunk or an elephant's foot even, but it's a smooth bark. Love that dark foliage against that light gray. It's almost a white, but that is the coolest tree I've ever seen. This is the Fagus sylvatica reversi. So that is going to be the pinnacle of this garden bed that I just cut in. I just can't believe I found that. 40% off, and nobody had bought it this year, so it's been well taken care of. It's got a big root ball. And in addition to that, I found 5 vanilla strawberries. And if you see vanilla strawberries at a nursery, buy them. These are one of my favorite, if not the favorite. And this is a vanilla strawberry for anybody that hasn't seen one. This one's kind of an oddball. They start really white and they get pink from the bottom up. And they'll have 18-inch panicles at maturity. So these were planted by, this was a quart when I planted it maybe 4 years ago. So it's getting there, but they've already been trimmed for the season. The nursery said they had too big of a bloom, so it was weighing them down. But they're nice healthy hydrangeas. They've got solid bases. Look at that, that's big. All of them are nice and solid. So I think if I add some grasses to a dedicated vanilla strawberry bed, that would be neat, and then have the copper beech as the centerpiece. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. Look at that. The holy grail of tree. So I went ahead and cut a garden bed in yesterday, and I'm continuing the drift of pinky winky beds, and I think a vanilla strawberry will be really cool at the end. I've got the pinky winky here planted really tight. They'll be skyscrapers, so we'll see how that turns out. I've got the pinky winky prime in this bed, and I really think some of the grasses would be nice here too. Really add some vertical structure to an otherwise flat garden bed. We've got 3 oaks here that I'm cloaking in my pinky winkies for now. See if they can compete. If not, they'll be sacrificed at some point, but I think a grass here and here might be nice, maybe over there. Do it in 3s. And I also started connecting these 2 trees, so that's going to be a nice little cleaned up bed, nice comma shape. And this is a deep, I don't know if it's deeper than the other one, but it's a comma, and you can see how it kind of has a more of a point on that end and a big lobe on this end. I think the copper beech would look really nice here. The vanilla strawberries, maybe with a few grasses, would look nice. And otherwise, this is just a spot of grass that really we don't need. We've got the 2 little oaks that may or may not make it, but they'll at least have a chance for a couple years. And that almost looks like a red oak. Normally it's white oaks here, but we've still got room for the soccer field, football, whatever we're playing. And then we'll slowly move our way down and work on that end. So we're getting there, but it's going to take a while, and I've got plenty of holes to start digging, so let's get to planting. So that is a grass hole and a lot of rocks in that one. That's my tree hole. And that is straight up clay and rock. But now the fun part. Well, that was 3 more holes than I really planned on digging, but I really think it looks good. The kind of the zigzag of the hydrangeas here on the front, they're not really placed where the hole is, but it's not a consistent line, which I normally tend to do, and I don't like that. And I've got kind of a bumped out grass area there too, but this big hole for the tree is going to hopefully be sufficient, because that was a lot of work. And that's a lot of morning shade. I didn't realize from those trees, but you can really see kind of how the bed's going to look now. But the recipe for today is composted manure and topsoil with biotone right where the root ball is going to go. And I don't have wood chips this time, and I'm not sure that's, I really like doing that anyway. So we've got 6 composted manure, 4 topsoil, and the biotone, which I may or may not forget. So I had to compost the bottom of the holes, and that's really just to level it out and give it something nutritious, maybe for those bottom roots to grab onto. And on that, I'm going to put some biotone, especially for the tree. This is just starter fertilizer. So hopefully that encourages root growth, and probably put a little on the root ball too. Let's see if I can lift this thing. Yeah, geez. That's And these hydrangeas have a super thick base there, and roots are pretty root bound, but I don't know. It's almost like a tree trunk base, which I really like. So I really like how these are looking. I put a cage on the tree just for the night, and really all the vanilla strawberries have a nice staggered look to them. You kind of bend around and really get a view of what that's going to look like with the sun back there now that it's super bright. And backing up, you can see the outline of that garden, that teardrop comma sign in the full sun, and I think that looks pretty good. We're going to have some height on the grass. The grass will shoot up seed heads here in a week or two, and that tree will just keep getting bigger and bigger. But that is a lot better than the dilapidated grass that I grow here. And one more look at that purple beech, not birch, and that is just my favorite. Look at the bottom of that. So that copper look in the sun just completely changes color. So it's got like 3 colors: white trunk and deep purple with gray lines in the middle, and then in the sun you've got that copper color. That's crazy. Can't believe I found this. But over here I noticed I do have some extra hydrangeas that I haven't planted. They've been in pots for maybe 2 years, and some of the real small kind, I've got a ginkgo that I grew from seed I still need to plant, but 3 are sweet summers, and sweet summers go over there. So I think I'm going to get those in while it's nice, and at least get 3 more planted. Well, I got 3 in of the sweet summer behind me, which is these guys, and they're not great, but at least they're in the ground. And I've got 8 more of a smaller variety. I might as well put on this edge and just see what I can get dug around this big oak. But I think the smaller variety here, fill that in with mulch, and that'll clean everything up a bit. And that's how well they're growing in the pots. They're still nice and alive. They just don't look beautiful. Look at the root on that. That almost looks like a hibiscus root. Boy, the mosquitoes are out tonight, man. They're just swarming me. But so I managed to get 8 more of the small hydrangea. That one looks different, but we did 3 more of the sweet summer, which are these guys. And it's just a small regular paniculata that'll be 5 foot tall. Looks all right. Then we'll mulch it out. We got mulch delivered today, so we are going to hit the garden bed next that we just made. And you might not be able to see it in the sunset, but this is all prepped and ready to go. Need to water them one more night. And then we've got cardboard. So we got lots of cardboard. Hopefully we'll be able to use our mulch more sparingly and get away from these mosquitoes, but it is bad. How do you handle this, girl? Huh? Just eat sticks? You just eat sticks all the time, don't you? I'm not gonna take your stick. I'm not gonna take your stick. Oh, you're a good girl. You are a good girl. She's been waiting all day to see me come home. So I got one more garden bed in. It's Vanilla Strawberry, and it's got the favorite tree that I've been looking for maybe 10-15 years, like I said. And really behind me is all the limelights and hibiscus, but in front of me I've been working on individual dedicated beds. And really this Pinky Winky bed is what set everything off. I got just regular Pinky Winkies in a small comma, and I really like how I cut that in, trenched everything. I've got a yellow magnolia in here, but the raised bed just looks really good to me. So I continued that on down the line as we go. I've got Pinky Winky Prime in this bed, and these are going to be just as big. It's a little bit flatter. They look like they need some water, but it's a lot bigger bed. I think I can add some grasses there. And moving on down, we've got the Sweet Summer on the right. We've got a spot that needs mulch here, but this is the bed that we just planted. And Vanilla Strawberry is the best hydrangea you can get. This is Vanilla Strawberries, 5 of them, 3 grasses, a volunteer oak, actually 2 more volunteer oaks here, and then the star of the bed. This is my Purple Beech. I've got guards here for the deer already, but this is just insane what's going on those leaves. And they've got that nice white trunk that I talked about. As it gets older, we're gonna have those lines going across it like wrinkles on an elephant's leg, and just going up, you've got all that purple foliage, which you just can't beat. It's a little bit overcast now, but you can see that copper color on the other side of the leaf with the sun going through, and I just love that. It's almost got white in it. The gray lines going down the leaves, that serrated edge on the beech. Again, this is the grasshoppers found it already. Well, come on guys, look at that. Go find something else. But that is just awesome. Sun on it, a little bit different angle, bottom of the leaves there. I just couldn't be happier with that tree. Super white from standing back, and with a nice high bed of mulch. We've got a lot of cardboard down, and I think the cardboard might actually be home to mice when they can get under there like a tent in the winter time, but I still don't care. I think that keeping the grass is better, or more of a priority for me, and we got a lot of owls, so I think the mice should be fine, or a nice little ad. But that is just needs cleaned up a little bit there, but that is nice. I just love that. And looking down Hydrangea Row, you've got the Vanilla Strawberries, you've got the Pinky Winky Primes, you've got Pinky Winky, you've got Limelights and Vanilla Strawberries and everything else intermixed in this bed. But over here you've got Sweet Summer. And just walking over to the road, you can see how it's changed over 5 years. Just a complete bed of grass to really a lot of different botanical varieties. But this is going to be one of the spots that I think we hit next. I want to change everything except the dawn redwoods and the pines. We've got a grass, some weird hydrangeas that I don't like, and I already know what I'm going to put here. So that is I think the next video. But we've got just a lot of textures, colors. This just looks great. This bed definitely needs cleaned up. I think this will be second in line to that bed. So backing up to the oak, this was all buckthorn, and I think that'll be a bed. This will be a bed that needs cleaned up. This really needs a do-over, I think, but I think that'll be second. So I've already got the next one planned, and I really like these themed hydrangea beds that really just have one hydrangea. I don't do that very often. And now that I did the Pinky Winky behind me, I want to do that really all over the place. I'm going to redo a lot of beds. I think a lot of beds can be used for annuals next year, and a lot of this open space will have space to really put some of this more interesting instant color in. But we can take a spin around the garden and see where everything's at right now. The Bubblegum Vista Supertunia is kind of finishing up. I don't know if it's finishing up or just getting ready to flower one more time. I fertilized everything real hard, so I don't know if it doesn't look like they're burned up, but That one's actually getting the afternoon sun, so that might be the difference. I don't know. And we've got our pinky winky bed. And I bumped this bed out. We're gonna put mulch down. We have a more natural curve. That'll look a lot better in the winter time. But just going around, the hibiscus are kind of taking a break here. But I like this grass. I got more of this one. I think this will look good in the pinky winky bed. This is kind of a, I've always called it a zebra grass, but have to look up if it's miscanthus or panicum or whatever the difference in grasses they are. We've got a little Ruby Falls red bud that the deer took down, and it's still kind of plugging away. It's supposed to be a weeping red bud, but it just lost about 10 foot from the deer. And the limelights are starting to turn pink. It's kind of about time. They usually turn pink real early around here. Still got some white, still got some new buds. So everything's doing really well. Look at the monster over here. Let's see if he's still plugging away. Yeah. So this is that giant mop head that it's a limelight, but some limelights just have like 1 or 2 mutant stems that look cool. This is one of the, I want to say Midnight Marvel, but I could be wrong. But I just love these. My dad loves these. I planted these because my dad just loves seeing these. And if you see them going all the way around, it's kind of shocking. You don't see something like that too often. Just a huge bloom. Oh, but I like that. And some of these look like they got a little bit of sun damage or dried out from the sun. I don't know, but they're on drip. The drip might be clogged on some of these, but that's all right. That's another big one. Look at that. These are just awesome. In the sun, the stamen just kind of stands out. There is nothing more interesting than a hibiscus stamen on a flower. And I like this little guy, little pink one. It's I wish I could remember the name, but it's kind of a watermelon, I think, something. Real dark foliage. Love that. And going around, there's a big vanilla strawberry that's weighted down. Got some more reds here. And a Ripley girl. What do you think, Rip? You having a good day?
You always have good days. You always have good days, don't you? Is it too buggy? Yeah, you don't care. You just love it outside. Especially if you can put your nose on somebody's arm. Yeah, you're a good girl.
We'll take a look at a couple vanilla strawberries. They had a bad prune job last year. They're really weighted down by the blooms. But that's what you want. You want blooms that are so big, you have to specialize in pruning. And these are these don't get any water. So they're all on their own out here. So maybe this bed is not a prime example of vanilla strawberries. Over here we've got some biggies, and they are super heavy. You can see just how much that is bent over. That's supposed to be going straight up, and they're about to snap. But that is what you want. That is a big bloom. And a lot of the biggest ones have been pruned off already. But look at that. Look at that. That is crazy. So better job. There's a vanilla in there, and it's getting completely covered by grasses. But for size, there's not much that matches the color, the little burned up there, but look how heavy they are. And they've broken the stem right there, and that's happened before. So I definitely need to be more diligent pruning, and we'll be doing that here in maybe a month. But that's a big one too. That's a limelight, but that is just awesome. Over here we've got the giant nursery bed of mixed hydrangeas. mixed free range, cage free hydrangeas. And here's a vanilla, just to show the size difference. We've got probably a line, I don't know if that's a prime or a firelight there, but just completely different animal, just a monster. Look at that. I think that's a firelight. So firelights go pink real fast, and they're usually bigger than this. They can be 9 foot. So a lot of these are 9-foot monsters. There's a firelight there. I think some of these are actual limelight primes that are shockingly large, but bigger's better. And here is a sneak peek at next week. We've got a quickfire that didn't bloom very much this year. I didn't, again, prune it probably correctly last year. I think I just took a hedge trimmer to it. But quickfire has a real interesting globe shape to it. They grow kind of like a giant sphere with these huge blooms on top. This one doesn't have much this year, but real large flower varieties. Cool spider in there. And they've got that look where some of them bloom, some haven't, and just real neat texture. So we're gonna have that in a garden bed next week, dedicated quickfires. So we'll see how that looks against the vanilla strawberries, the pinky winky prime, and then the giant drift of limelights in the front. But in the meantime, thanks for watching this video. We've got more to come. This is the 4th video in our hydrangea series, I think. I'll put links in the description, and watch for the next video. Thanks. Ripley, where are you?
There you are. There you are. What were you doing? What were you doing? You are a good girl. You are a good girl. You wanna go out back? You wanna go see the hydrangeas out back?
And we'll take a spin around the back hydrangeas just to get Ripley some exercise. But it has been a beautiful day, and again, this is what I want. I think I want dedicated beds that's very clean, very specific to what's planted. I've got, what are these? Vanilla strawberries, limelights, firelights. This is a vanilla strawberry. Looks like the drip got clogged on that one, so that's not doing great this year. This was so big it broke some of the stems last year, and they're a lot smaller blooms this year, probably because I don't take as much time and maybe fertilize, water some of these back plants as I do in the front, or as I did this year. We've got 1 phantom, 2 vanilla strawberries here. Again, they need some water. It hasn't rained in like 3 weeks here, which is kind of odd, but we've got just a mess of redbuds in here. Limelights. This is the Sambuca lemony lace elderberry, and I like the look of that. It's just planted wrong. The limelights there need water too. Man, I shut the water off way too early. But over here we've got some more hydrangeas and 1 monster. This is a vanilla strawberry. Look at that, just mutant, panicles. And it's being wedged up by one of the fallen branches. So, but this is how vanilla strawberry should look. Just huge blooms everywhere. Look at that together. Look at that together. Just awesome. It's just, there's nothing like that. Mosquitoes are killing me. And the bloomerang bloomed again. Hard to notice that when you've got hydrangeas everywhere. Getting into the wildflower mix here. And I heard we had a sighting of a monarch caterpillar somewhere. See if I can find it. Ann Rose sent me a video, but which plant would that be on? Oh, I found him already. There he is. That's a big one. That's awesome. That's huge. It's always nice to see a monarch caterpillar. I look all year and rarely find them. Oh, there go the turtles. Boy, back here has changed a lot. When we came here 5 years ago, this was just grass, and I just can't believe how much we've planted, how much it's changed, how good it looks, and how much it can change for the better, I think, too. The pumpkin patch is struggling through, but really I think back here we've got a lot of spots where we can add beds and really add some height and not cut into the soccer field, and have plenty of room for sports and just have a good time with a lot of space. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
No, you're too close, girl. You're not supposed to be out here. You're not supposed to be this far. You like your pumpkins patch, don't you? Because there's rabbits in it. I know you do. You are a goof. You are a goof. You like pats, man. You like pats, don't you?